Hola, buenas tardes a todos los que nos oyen. Estamos en una emisión más de Doctor Linux y estamos con un invitado especial, Andrew Latham, from Google and from United States. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
From Gringolandia.
From Gringolandia, I introduce you, Andrew Latham.
Woohoo!
I have music now, so how are you, Andrew?
Awesome.
Well,
I'm very well. Muy bien,
good.
muy bien.
That's good. Let me, because I forgot to, as always, I need to switch the view of everything, but people can see us okay right now. Wait, propiedades, Google Meet, that. Okay, we're okay, so I can switch now.
¿Cómo se dice technical difficulties?
Probably the same. Dificultades técnicas. Look, who is there? Who's there? Luis San Martin.
Don Luis.
Gringo Malvado.
This is a very, very wide audience.
Yes. I'm wide. Yes, I'm wide now. That's why I hear a lot of music. Okay.
When you grow up, Samuel, you will not be able to see your feet.
Exactly. There is the music now. It's everything okay, I think. Yeah, you cannot see your feet when you grow up. Hey Andy, what are you doing now? Besides talking to me. For work.
I am becoming very fat, and I am managing a lot of wonderful nerds, and I'm keeping them focused on their work, and I'm trying to do my absolute best to become a better old person. So one of the things that I've been working a lot on is integrations with open source software, and trying to integrate into very, very, very old mindsets. ¿Cómo se dice mindset?
Mindset? You're Google Translator. I know what it means, but I'm trying to translate. So, mindset,
stubborn, yeah.
Yeah,
estúpido.
Cambiar la mente. Change, yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of the fun things, and I have been doing a lot of woodworking. So your uncle would be very happy. I should send pictures. And
send pictures. He misses you, by the way.
And I do.
That sounds bad for the audience, but yeah, but he misses you. He always reminds you. Let me translate something. Luis San Martin, he translates mentalidad. Exactly. Let me explain, people. You are working, estás trabajando para Google. And how's your Spanish? You told me something. It was funny.
Española solo para comida, comilona. Solamente la comida. So I use my Spanish for ordering food, and that is all.
Okay. Todo sigue igual como antes, entonces. Está trabajando para Google, but for what team or department? I don't know who you work there.
I'm a manager of systems and network engineering for Google Fiber, which is the fiber optics to the home in 19 cities.
Wow. I have Yeah, I have fiber now at my home, and my uncle have fiber optics now. It's weird for us.
It's wonderful for Chile because the economy can grow much faster. Most of Gringolandia has little to no internet.
Really? But you have a lot of money there.
But it is very centralized to a few cities.
Wow. And Google is working for that, for expand the fiber optics?
Correct, yes. The build out of fiber internet to the United States, Gringolandia, is growing. We also have Starlink from Elon Musk. You know, Starlink is very, very high speed internet.
Yes.
It's very interesting for the rural areas. ¿Cómo se dice rural? I will ask.
Grow? What's the word? I'm sorry.
The country.
It's the same. It's like zombie.
Okay, the same.
It's the same. Rural. Yeah, it's the same word, but with the R is R. Claro, exactly. No, like the motorbike. Rural.
Yes. But in general, the work I do is about building out the tooling and the provisioning and the technology to give the customers 1 gigabit, 2 gigabit, 10 gigabit internet access.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the products are symmetrical, so that it's a 1 gigabit upload.
Wow. Well,
so
how much do you have in your house?
in my house, I do not have the service in my house because I live in a different town, a different city. But yes, in general, it is a very popular product, and it's very I'm attempting to use wording to help out with the audience. And I'm failing. But yes, the desire for looking at cat pictures over the internet will drive our customer growth forever.
And hey, you're wearing a jacket from Core OS?
This was a misprint. Yeah.
Yeah. Who gave it to you?
I got this from a stack of shirts that were misprinted by Brandon Phillips and his team.
Okay.
A long time ago. It is missing the middle. It has worn off.
Okay. And I told you that I interviewed a girl from I forgot the name. Fleet.
Flat car.
Flat car. Yeah, and you told me that. Yes. You know that project, right?
I don't know everyone. I only know Samuel.
Okay. So political.
I think we have a question about Starlink.
Yeah, they ask if we're talking about Starlink. No, we are not talking about. Perdón. Let me switch Spanish. No estamos hablando de Starlink, pero we can ask. Yeah, we can ask. Actually, I have a question.
Go ahead.
You know that project? You work with that?
I'm trying to get it at my home.
Okay, and the latency? It's not the same
40
from
milliseconds.
It's
40,
good.
80 milliseconds. Yes, very good.
Oh,
The
that's very good.
the satellites are very low.
It's not like the other ones that you have. That's why. Yeah, because with the other one, the latency like really sucks, I think.
Correct.
Not with this.
The Hughes and other satellite services are 200-300 milliseconds of latency.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So this one have only 40 milliseconds. So you can use it to play.
Correct.
Yeah. So
And it's it has been tested at anywhere from 40 to 120 megabytes per second.
Ajá. Cool. Entonces, vea, let me translate now. Pero creo que todos entendieron que el servicio de Starlink tiene una latencia de 40 milisegundos. Bueno, Andrew está tratando de tener de obtener Starlink en su casa. Está trabajando por el proyecto de Fiber Optics en Google. Y por lo visto las tasas de transferencia son bastante buenas, o sea, 100, 120 megabits por segundo, lo cual no es para nada malo, sobre todo si está en un área rural. And yeah, but a lot of scientists are talking not good things for the project Starlink. Yeah, I haven't seen the satellites in my city, probably because I haven't been the whole night waiting for them.
Yes, so I
But
have
they
many
say
friends.
that it is a lot of contamination, visual contamination.
Light contamination.
Yeah.
And I have some friends who work on the observatory in La Serena
Yes.
on the project for detecting dark matter.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very unhappy with Elon Musk.
Yes. And Mauricio Jimenez, he asked you if you compare fiber optic with Starlink.
Not yet.
No, but if you can compare the
Do you want me
difference,
to?
yeah, just global difference.
The global difference would be that if your fiber optic provider had a very few hops, fiber optic would be 1 to 5 millisecond.
Yes.
If Starlink is giving you 40 to 60 milliseconds, that would be a small issue with your reaction. Your what is the gaming term for lag? Yes, lag.
Yeah, lag. Yeah, but now they call it. I didn't know, but my kids plays Fortnite, and they use the ping concept, and
Correct.
they call ping to lag because they say, "Hey, I have ping. I have a lot of ping." That's the concept that they use now.
At Google Fiber, we have a latency of about 1 to 2 milliseconds from end to end.
Wow.
So very fast.
Yeah, I'm. In the meanwhile, I was pinging. That's the concept. I was doing a ping to the 8.8.8.8, and I have 6 milliseconds from Chile.
In Santiago.
From my house, Viña.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably it's Santiago. The 888 is in Santiago. Thanks.
Yes.
And yeah, that's why. Yeah, wait, people is asking a lot. Let me try to. Starlink trabaja en la frecuencia de ahora, me imagino por banda de tipo de data debe ser igual. And with bad weather, how it works, Starlink?
The Starlink, there are some blogs and reports on it working okay in clouds, but the snow, ¿cómo se dice snow?
Nieve.
The
Nieve.
snow
Yes.
will make it not receive well.
Okay, but we don't have snow in Chile.
In Gringolandia, we do.
Yeah, you have tornadoes. You have Sharknado now.
Sharknadoes.
Yes. Olbab Onamoras. He says that, yeah, that's much better than his provider. The Pacific. That's his provider.
And in Gringolandia, the providers in any city will vary dramatically. So if you are I'm near Denver, Colorado, and in Denver, Colorado, you can travel 10 kilometers and the service is completely different.
Okay. And how are you doing with that's a personal question. I already did it, but I think that Luis and Eduardo, how are you doing, your family, with the COVID?
I'm doing very well. I'm very good at staying home and eating and watching the television. I am a champion at that.
Yes. Where are you going to get the vaccine? You're gonna get?
The vaccine is available to the very old people and the critical healthcare workers. It may be many, many months before it's available to me.
Oh, yeah.
Gringolandia has millions, hundreds of millions of people. So the population is very different than Chile.
Yeah, but you have the anti-vaccine, so you can get it faster than... You have a huge population.
Without getting too political, I will likely be able to get the vaccine before others because others will not choose to take it.
Another question about wow, people is getting interested in networking. Somebody asked it, do you think that fiber optic or Starlink is which one is more scalable, Starlink or fiber optics?
I think that Starlink, I think the cost to deploy and the long-term total cost of ownership is high on Starlink.
Okay.
Because you would have to replace the satellite if it goes bad or it gets hit by a rock.
Do you want
to translate that?
Sí. Dice que el costo final, el costo total de operación a largo plazo va a ser hace que no sea en realidad una buena opción al momento de escalar, porque es muy caro reemplazar, mantener funcionando Starlink, en resumen. Eso. Y que bueno, él no se va a vacunar todavía porque según él es muy joven, pero lo voy a decir que no. Wait. Andy, I ask you, why you don't get old, man?
I should not say what I told you.
No, choose another. Because
I laugh a lot. Humor is very important. Broma.
Sí, chistes. Dice que, bueno, Andrew parece que tuviera 20 o 30 o 40, pero no. I'm not gonna ask you how old are you, but
very, very old. 44.
44 y todavía no tiene. You don't even have white hair. What the fuck? I have a lot. Look.
Yes, it is. It is important to use crayons and paste, and to laugh, and to live, and to not take things too serious.
Mira, está buena. Let me translate that. Dice que es importante reír, usar crayones para el pelo y no tomarse las cosas tan en serio. Hey, somebody asked you what operating system does Andrew use? The best one in the world, obviously.
I use Debian and have used Debian since 2003. 2003.
Desde el 2003 utiliza Debian, el mejor sistema operativo en la galaxia. That's the best operating system in the whole... No, in the known universe.
No. Any operating system is okay.
Bueno.
There's no perfect whiskey. It's the whiskey you like to drink and how you like to drink it.
Dice que, bueno, no hay sistema operativo perfecto. Es como el whisky, ¿cierto? Que no existe el whisky perfecto, sino que el whisky que a ti te gusta. One of the people on the audience says, well, you look like you were using Debian.
Because of the virus, the people that cut hair are closed, and so I've been cutting my own hair, and I look very
No, that you look like a nerd. No, he's saying that you look like a nerd that used Debian.
Oh, here, let me turn the nerd on here.
There, no, he used Debian unstable. That switched to unstable.
But yes, I Debian SID. So I run Debian SID so that I always just update and upgrade. I don't know what it is to reinstall.
Yes. Are you using Docker now? Kubernetes? I'm gonna switch from topic. I'm sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mira, le voy a preguntar porque Andrew fue la persona que me presentó Docker. Y cuando me presentó Docker yo le miré así como, ¿por qué necesito Docker si tengo mis máquinas virtuales con KVM? ¿Cierto? Estaba feliz con libvirt. ¿Y por qué necesitaría Docker? Y después caché que Docker. Entonces, Andrew fue el que me introdujo al mundo de Docker por ahí por el 2010, 2010. Or 9.
Docker.
I forgot when you introduced me. Docker.
No,
that sounds
Docker
bad in Spanish.
Docker was released in August of 2013.
Okay, so it wasn't in Chile.
In 2004, 2004, 2003 was UML, User Mode Linux.
Yeah.
And then the LXC and libvirt came along. And yes, libvirt has been around for many years.
Yes. So, are you using Docker still, or are you using, I don't know, you moved to Kubernetes?
So Docker or Run C, which is OCI, the Open Container Initiative,
yes,
is the concept of just describing what you intend. And so in Docker, you have a Docker file, and in the new Run C, it is a metadata JSON object, and it lets you define what you intend to create. And Kubernetes is immensely helpful if you have a service that does one thing, or a set of services that do one thing.
Okay.
But Kubernetes would not be useful if you need a system with many ports open and many services all on one system. You would need to break them apart to microservices.
In Kubernetes, right?
Kubernetes?
Yes, Kubernetes. So, mira, le pregunté si I'm gonna translate that.
I'm laughing at the he compiles his own haircut.
Yeah. Sí, oye, Mauricio, le gustó tu talla, ¿ven? Oye, le pregunté si sigue trabajando con Docker o si utiliza Kubernetes y me describió un poco lo que era Docker, ¿cierto? Básicamente describía lo que querías hacer, Docker o Docker CI. Y, perdón, run, what's the other initiative? Docker and run CI.
C.
Run C, that. Entonces, lo que me dice, ¿cierto? Es que Kubernetes es un proyecto que te sirve, es que es un orquestador, pero te sirve siempre y cuando tengas un servicio que haga solo una cosa. ¿Ya? No, la implementación no está muy buena, parece, para cosas un poco más complejas, porque vas a tener que dividirlas en muchos pedacitos, en microservicios. So, yeah, basically you have Docker Swarm and like an orchestrator and
Okay.
Kubernetes, right?
Yes. There are middle ground. There are middle solutions. Many people have played with Rancher.
Yes.
And Rancher allows you to have a single Docker container and a Kubernetes cluster all side by side.
Yeah, I have. Ok. Si dice que tiene Rancher OS, que te permite tener o Docker o Kubernetes. Le voy a preguntar acerca de si es más. Has tenido la misma experiencia que tengo yo con Kubernetes, que no ha sido muy fácil la implementación en bare metal, que básicamente directamente en el fierro. Andy, have you have experience installing I don't know, Kubernetes in bare metal? Because
Yes,
with Docker, yes, it's easy. I find that Docker is easier than Kubernetes, by the way. Because if you want to use Docker Swarm, you just need to you need to run a single command. And in Kubernetes, you need to install a lot of things. And my assumption is that if you are in the cloud, Kubernetes works perfect.
Yeah.
It's
for services built for Kubernetes, it's very functional in the cloud. If your family has software from the 1990s that they want you to run in the cloud, Kubernetes is not the fix, is not the solution.
That's a good one. Sí, dice que básicamente si tienes software muy antiguo, Kubernetes tal vez no es la solución. And for big data things, have you used Kubernetes, Docker, or?
For large scale data, whether it be relational database or key value store or blob storage, there are different solutions for each. So Ceph might be a good solution for block storage, and Hadoop might be a good solution for block storage or large file storage. And you might use a different solution for managing key value stores or for having a registry service.
No, I was looking for. No, I was asking for the deploy technology for the technology that supports all of that, because I had deployed big data infrastructures, and I found that with Docker it make your life easier, because
Correct.
everything is, you need to play with some things, right? Because it's not the same that having the, I don't know, the, you need to play with the communication, because you need to change the way that, I don't know, Spark, Apache Spark, communicate, but it's just touching the configuration. But I think that because in my mind, somebody asked me for an enterprise service bus like Apache Camel, or
Yes, or Mule. Mule is a very popular one.
Mule. Yeah, yeah. So my question really is, with this technology, whatever Mule, WSO2, I think, is one of them. Apache Camel, and there is no perfect project that fits. But which one is more container ready? You know, or not?
So some people will use tools like Redis, which is very bound to memory. And
Yes.
because it has no persistent storage, it is very friendly for the containers.
Uh-huh.
If the storage mechanism is to write I/O back and forth to a persistent storage, it will have a cost. Let's see here. Oh, I'm reading the comments there. Okay. To orchestrate this, I am a proponent of Ansible, of course, and I use Ansible to build my containers and to upload them to the registries.
Okay.
And I use Ansible to deploy. I have used Swarm to clean up very complex machine learning and natural language processing environments.
Okay.
And that is a good way of iterating. So Docker is really great at allowing you to iterate your infrastructure.
Uh-huh. So, I think that, like me, you are not a big fan of Kubernetes.
I love Kubernetes.
Yeah?
However, it is not the fix for bad software.
Okay.
It's throwing money at a problem. It's not fixing the problem, it's throwing money at the problem.
Okay. Okay. And let me search for questions. Hey, gente, si tienen preguntas, me avisan por acá. Let me say hello to everyone. So, Walla Drake, Eduardo Díaz, Andrew, you're there. Luis Víctor Parada, Mauricio Jiménez, Rodrigo Ramírez, Olbap, dejemos un Olbap nomás, hidróxido, ¿cierto? Alguien, bueno, si tienen preguntas, háganlas por acá, yo las leo. And, bueno, you are working at Fiber and networking. You used to work with DNS, your previous work.
Correct,
probably?
yeah.
Can
Yes.
you... and you told me that when I ping 8.8.8.8, that is in Chile.
It's an Anycast.
Ah,
So it is announced in Santiago at the data center for the peering, and so it is 8.8 or 8.8.8.8 or .444. Those are announced in the cities around the world, and that's why they appear to be fast and local.
so I need to ping Netflix. No, what can I ping for? Get my real... wait. Wow. Let me tell you that it's even... That's good. Okay. Yeah, 7 milliseconds. And you have 1 2 milliseconds in Google Fiber.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yes.
that's almost nothing.
Correct. It is amazing. I have a question here about where someone would start to learn about Docker.
No, yes and no. Any words of wisdom about he's starting to study at the university.
Mhm.
So any word of wisdom for a beginner about Docker or container technology?
There is a wonderful document that explains adding things that change often to the end of your definition. So your Docker file, okay, you want your first 6 instructions to not change very often, because that will cause bloat. ¿Cómo se dice bloat?
Desorden.
Yeah.
Desorden.
So be aware of bloat. That's the big thing to learn about Docker, is that if your first command in Docker is to update all the packages, it will cause a lot of bloat.
Sí, dice que algún consejo, así que te alejes de hinchar mucho, de engordar mucho tu paquete, ¿cierto? Tus contenedores. That's because you need lighter containers?
Well, Docker and containers are stacks of tar files.
Okay.
And if you continue to change the second or third stack, you have many stacks that are sitting.
Ok. Mira, eso es muy bueno. Dice que esta estuvo buena en realidad. Efectivamente, tienes capas en Docker o en los contenedores, cuando tú construyes, tú tienes capas. Capas que tienen no solamente los paquetes, sino que cosas que tú le fuiste agregando. Entonces, si tú estás más o menos en la cuarta capa y se te ocurre seguir agregándole a tu Dockerfile cosas, eso va a hacer que tu contenedor tenga muchas capas que luego tiene que obviamente leer y reconstruir, y tienes un contenedor muy fragmentado, por así decirlo. No sé si fragmentado pero básicamente tienes muchas capas hacia abajo que son las que tienes que leer, y no es una buena práctica. La idea es, de hecho, cuando tienes un Dockerfile, que podríamos verlo luego, no en esta sesión obviamente, comúnmente uno suele utilizar un chorizo más o menos largo para definir lo que estás instalando, porque no quieres tener tantas capas hacia arriba, quieres tener poquitas capas. Yeah.
Correct. Thank you, Eduardo.
Yeah, life is like a container. It birth to die.
Yeah, so that it's very important. But another problem, Samuel, is if you are installing operating system updates in your Docker file, then every single time you build the Docker file, it will be different, and your application may stop working because a library has changed.
Exactly.
So you want to be careful about how fat you make your containers.
Sí, dice que tienes que, efectivamente, podría una biblioteca haber cambiado, entonces tú sigues añadiendo capas, algo puede haber cambiado hacia abajo y la cagaste. Entonces, sí, tienes que tener cuidado con hacer tan gordos tus contenedores. Hey, let me switch to another topic, because I used to I part of another it's not a show, it's another channel, Rocket. We talk about technology. It says what is the slogan? Technology in simple words. So we were talking about the M1 from
Okay.
Apple. Have you, Eduardo? By the way, Eduardo have one.
Eduardo is no longer cool.
No, it's no longer cool. Yeah, but it was interesting the move that Apple did, because basically now they control everything. I think.
Correct.
And the performance that they show, and everybody shows a very good performance.
Correct.
But Intel replies that weren't fair comparisons.
Intel is lost. Intel is very far behind in innovating, and Intel has had to ask TSMC to start making chips for them because they are incapable of making chips.
Yeah, they hired old designers, CPU designer, and we were telling to the people that they need to pay. The problem with that is that it's not the money with them, right? With an old engineer from Intel, they sleep in money. So you need to have a very good speech to rehire them. Do you think I'm just speculating, but do you think that Intel is going to make any move to get out of this problem that they have? They're stuck in innovation right now.
They have the opportunity to grow their networking business.
Yeah, but then you have NVIDIA that they ¿cómo se dice comprar? I forgot. They bought InfiniBand company. I forgot the name. The one that sells InfiniBand.
Broadcom?
Mellanox.
Mellanox, okay.
Yeah, NVIDIA bought Mellanox. They say that is for artificial intelligence, but the main question was for you. I think that everything is moving to machine learning or artificial intelligence because everybody is selling. Apple, for example, is selling a neural processor. NVIDIA, I think that they're going to do the same. And what do you think? That is the new, fog that the industry is selling?
No, so using dedicated hardware to do a single task is going away. AMD has begun releasing server processors with attached floating point grid array ability to dynamically create your own processor.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Can you send me the link? Can you paste the link in the chat? Not our chat, the chat for the people.
Yeah,
because I have a few friends. One of them used to be with me, but today he couldn't. Franco Cadrin. He's a very good engineer, and he's now he works for it's his project. He lives for RetroX platform that you can play video games, retro. And it's like the Netflix for the video games, old video games. And he's programming. He was playing with FPGA. And I have interviewed another one that is the master here in Chile, and I think that in some place from the world. Everybody say, "Oh, Daniel Serpel." Probably you know him. He's from the Santa
I
Maria.
know Daniel. I remember Daniel. I have a funny picture of him when we fold the money in half for the headshot.
That one. Wow. Yeah, you know him. So yeah, Daniel. Yeah, Daniel. He have a company. I think that he programs processors in FPGA and he delivers that kind of nerdy stuff. So you're telling me that in AMD you can program your own processor? That
In the server processor,
yes.
I pasted the white paper from 2019. It is years old now.
You haven't
And-
pasted. It doesn't appear in the chat.
Oh, the URLs do not appear in the chat?
I think
Okay.
you need to remove the HTTP probably. No, the URL is not there.
Okay. I will paste to you
Probably here. Okay. Here. It's a PDF. That's why probably. Let me see if mira lo que me está diciendo. It doesn't appear. Yeah, I cannot paste it. Lo voy a compartir en Twitter, muchachos. I'm gonna put it on there.
Okay.
It appears. Good.
Woohoo.
Woohoo.
But this would allow you to create a GPU or any other processing that you might require on your server. And this is coming to market very, very soon.
Wow. And we have another. I have for a full episode with this. Wow, I didn't know that. I already posted on the Rocket Telegram. So yeah. Let me breathe. Okay, so Intel is losing money from all places. You have Nvidia,
Correct.
AMD, and Apple.
And correct. And to be clear, Intel, to develop a processor is a long process. 3 years, 4 years. It's a long process. And they don't have things in the pipeline. ¿Cómo se dice pipeline? Is that they
en la línea de producción.
Sí.
Sí. Let me explain to the people about AMD stuff. Mira, lo que compartió, si es que ustedes lo ven, lo que Andrew compartió es que pronto AMD va a tener en producción los procesadores, sus servidores, vienen con, yo estoy leyendo acá el paper, por eso estoy medio, básicamente vienen con un array de FPGA, que tú puedes programar y te puedes hacer tu propio procesador basado en FPGA con juegos de azar y mujerzuelas. Entonces, it's like from the Futurama thing. When Bender says that you can have your own thing with games and robot horse, something like that. In Spanish, it works cool. Like with you can have your own banking game with slots, robot slots.
That sounds like Bender.
Yeah. So the technology is going to artificial intelligence. That is the thing that is selling now, right?
So many things are going on. Natural language processing. Okay. Which you have then computer vision. And those can feed into and support machine learning.
Jetson Nano. Woo. Yeah, I play with this. Literally. Video games.
And yeah, as those technologies developed, you will see more approaches to artificial intelligence.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm attempting to translate on the fly.
Which one? Siento que me estoy quedando atrás. Yeah, I feel that I'm...
So in Chile, do you know what imposter syndrome is?
No? But we have some people from Colombia and other places too. In the audience.
Un momento.
Okay.
I will paste to you in your Hangouts, and you can paste in the thingy.
Okay.
And actually, there may be there's a Spanish page. Click over to the Spanish, and you can paste that.
Yeah, Spanish. Síndrome del impostor. Es un fenómeno psicológico en el que hay gente se siente incapaz de... Claro, dice que es para OLAP. Dice que tal vez tienes el síndrome del impostor, que eres incapaz de internalizar tus logros y tienes un miedo, ¿cierto?, de ser descubierto como fraude. Básicamente no has podido ver cuáles son tus logros, dice te está dando ánimo. Ya, eso se siente porque eres una persona que todavía no confía en lo que sabe. No es que no confíe, sino que no ha internalizado aún todo lo que sabes. Pero está bien, todos nos sentimos así en un momento, hola, ¿cierto? Pero lo importante es que, claro, no andas fanfarronando, no crees saberlo todo, ¿cierto? Ok, voy a pegar el link a todo esto.
Yeah, the imposter syndrome is it hurts the nerds. Because if you are the smartest person in the meeting or the dumbest person in the meeting, you don't feel like you belong. But everyone belongs. All the nerds are good.
Okay. So I forgot about what we were talking about. But I'm gonna keep with my schedule about the M1.
Would you like me to remind you what we were talking about?
Yes, please.
We were talking about artificial intelligence and the build up to it as a solution for many problems.
Yes, but that was related to the M1. And the M1 is a low power consumption platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
it's efficient, but it does one thing though. It just is a normal ARM processor, whereas your x86 architecture has a wide array of instruction sets dating from the 1980s. And one of the reasons that the x86 architecture is somewhat inefficient is because it has a bunch of dirt from the 1980s, the 1990s, the 2000s. It has too much cruft, too much
overhead.
Oh, thank you, overhead. Too much overhead. So that is one of the reasons that the M1 will appear to be faster when it is actually maybe very fast. But the equivalent CPU on the x86 actually has more instructions available and can do things differently to its detriment.
Ok. O sea, me dice que básicamente probablemente el M1, ¿cierto? No probablemente, el M1 es una plataforma ARM como cualquier otra, excepto que hizo las cosas bien, pero en detrimento del x86 tiene plataformas muy similares, pero que está haciendo las mismas cosas, con muchos sets de instrucciones, y la está haciendo mal, siendo que podría hacerlas mejor. So you basically told me that they have a pipeline from basically 3 years. Intel.
In general, if Samuel is going to design a new chip,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do design, testing, and then manufacturing takes time also. So the complete process takes a lot of time, and Intel does not have things announced in their pipeline to show that they will be able to compete in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
So they need to create a fully brand new thing
Yes, exactly.
for compete, because if they copy, basically they're going to have a new ARM processor, which nobody asked for that.
They need to bring back Itanium.
Yes. Hidróxido te pregunta. Bueno, dijo que necesitan traer de vuelta el Itanium. He asked you if with AMD, with the new one, it's possible to modify the CPU on the fly.
It is my understanding, yes. See, because the FPGA should be controlled to be able to be turned on or off to reload microcode.
Dice que efectivamente, hasta donde entiende, por lo que leyó, sí, porque se puede prender y apagar el FPGA al voleo, tal como preguntas tú. But obviously you need to stop the processes that you have running there.
Mm-hmm. In the PDF actually discusses how to use Docker with the FPGA. So the PDF, while in English, may answer many of the questions.
Ok, dice que el PDF en inglés probablemente responda muchas de tus preguntas. Hey, and I have this in my notes. What do you think about quantum computing? Because it's have been 10 years that everybody's telling us that we have the new quantum computer. It exists? It really exists? Or is just near, very close
there are
quantum
many
processor?
There are many quantum processors on the planet right now.
Yes.
Google has a very powerful one.
Yes.
I welcome our robot overlords.
And but do you think that is the future for? It's a question from somebody in another chat. That is the future for the CPUs, quantum processors.
If it's economically viable, yes.
Yeah, everything depends on money, on the costs. Yeah, but today it is not possible to have a quantum processor in my house.
Yes.
Probably my kids and my wallet will not be happy.
Many years ago, in the 1950s, the computer was the size of a building, and they stated that no one would ever have a computer.
Bueno, sí. Ahí me dijo, oye, ¿sabes que los computadores cuánticos no son muy baratos? Y me dice que sí, muchos años atrás la gente tenía computadores, los computadores eran del tamaño de un edificio y todos decían, nadie nunca va a tener un computador en su casa. Y ahí tenía. Yeah, and now I have one of them using like a camera, which is my cell phone.
Your cell phone has many computers.
Yes, a lot. It's a Korean, it's a Samsung. So it even have a chip to spy me.
Aluminum foil, yes.
um, hey, about artificial intelligence, you need. I know that you need a lot of CPU cores. Course for artificial intelligence things like that. Bye, ciao. I'm sorry. I'm saying bye to somebody. You have a you need a lot of not power, but a lot of parallel tasks to run in machine learning.
Garbage in, garbage out. If the quantity and quality of input into an AI is high, you will need compute and resources. If you point a artificial intelligence at Twitter, which is very stupid, it does not need a lot of resources because the input is garbage.
Sí, dice que en realidad sí, depende, claro, efectivamente de la calidad que tengas tú como input. Si apuntas, por ejemplo, a Twitter, tienes basura, en resumen. Dice que te pregunta Mauricio Jiménez. Mauricio Jiménez asks you, server client paradigm or quantum computing? Wow.
No. That is.
Let me turn on the light.
That is a philosophical question.
Okay. I'm back.
I think that Mauricio.
See, he asked server client paradigm or on quantum computing. On.
I think that would make an excellent series of webcomics just discussing the topic.
Claro, dice que solamente discutir ese cómic podría ser una buena serie de cómics. Solamente poder discutir este tópico, perdón.
Let me think. It would be like.
And what else I have here? It have been a lot of time, so I have personal stuff, but I need to split from the to ask you. Okay, now we have fiber, not in the whole in our country, but in a lot of places, the main cities, and we have 4G and 5G. I think that it will start soon, and people, we talk about stupids, but people say that 5G is gonna change your DNA structure. What is your opinion about that?
I'm more interested in the question about Windows.
Which Windows?
I believe that our DNA structure has been changing for many decades from the advent of even the simplest technology, and even the simplest radio in your car will slowly change us over time.
Dice que efectivamente la radio, incluso cree que la radio va a hacer cambiar tu estructura, la radio de tu auto podría hacer cambiar la estructura de tu ADN, y que nuestra estructura de ADN ha estado cambiando siempre. And so it's safe to have 5G technology.
Correct. Delivery pizzas will ruin civilization before radio waves.
A question about Windows. What does Andrew think of Windows and his entry into the Linux world? Yeah, Microsoft loves Linux.
I used Unix in 1990, and I don't know that I've really used Windows for anything. in my life. It has never been important or primary.
Dice que nunca ha sido importante, o sea, básicamente no ha utilizado nunca Windows, así que, yeah, so you don't have any opinion about that. But a company like Microsoft, not Windows, but Microsoft, is running a huge cloud called Azure. That it's mostly Linux. That is their business, and I think that because in Rocket, in the other show, we talk about Microsoft probably have, if they don't have now, Linux distribution probably for the. They have one for the servers, but one version of Windows for Linux running. Probably they have one.
I believe that Microsoft has a version of Ubuntu, which is Windows Linux service or something like this. And I believe that Microsoft is trying to embrace, and the adoption of VS Code has likely shown them that they needed to change direction. So as that VS Code project exploded, they realized that they need to take some new direction to adapt to all of their users. Adapt to all of their users.
Sí, dice que que Microsoft se dio cuenta con VS Code, Visual Studio Code, que obtuvo un gran apoyo. O sea, no sé si ustedes lo han probado, los que están acá. Es bastante bueno el editor. Se dio cuenta Microsoft que tiene que cambiar un poco la dirección hacia dónde va. But because I have realized that Luis San Martin says that Linux is a cancer. But the community is. I have a counter speech for that. I didn't knew that big animals like elephants or whales, or me, no, bigger than me, but big animals, big mammals, I think, they develop cancer, but they don't die from cancer. It's super weird because the size of the tumor is like this size, but for me this size is huge, but for a whale it is not that huge, and their body react, and basically they don't die from cancer. So I think that it's the same for the community. It's a good cancer. Nobody's gonna die from Linux. Yeah, Luis San Martin anti 5G. No, Luis es un Linuxero por
So, as Linus had discussed in 1991, Linux is an idea.
Linux dice que es una idea como
just
Linux
happens to be software. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was talking on top of you. The last sentence was?
Linux is an idea.
Yes.
It just happens to also be software.
Dice, una idea que se hackeó para hacer software, básicamente. Linux es una idea que fue hackeada para hacer software. Son palabras de Linus Torvalds. Dice que... sí, Ballmer dijo que Linux es un cáncer. Yeah, Steve Ballmer was the one that said that Linux is a cancer.
I believe he threw a chair during that.
Yes. Plus, he said that the iPhone... He laughed about iPhones. I remember that.
Many people laughed at Nokia as they built better phones.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Hey, I was we have 1 hour and how much? 10 minutes. I don't know how much time do you have. What time is it there? Your Pacific time is?
It is 16:12.
So you're 2 hours behind me. Us.
But remember, the daylight savings is opposite for me.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's
almost night.
The stupid sun is in the wrong place.
Yeah, because it's not the Earth. The Earth is flat, completely flat. So is the Mauricio Jimenez. Debian plus chip machine igual no VS Code Vim Knox.
Has the audience used Atom?
Yeah, I have Atom. No, I don't know if the audience use Atom.
So yeah, AT. Really good. Okay, what's our question here about Tesla?
No, imagine if Nikola Tesla been success with his Wonder Cliff Tower.
Yeah, Wardenclyffe. Yeah. I put money to the restoring of the building.
¿En serio?
For
Really?
Tesla. Yeah.
Dice que puso plata para la restauración de esa torre. And it is working, or they're restoring?
It is a museum, and they are doing online episodes to have public speakers talk about technology at Wardenclyffe.
Really?
Wardenclyffe.
Ah, cool. So I remember that when the time when everybody wants to contribute Linux, and I have this program show. I don't know what it is, but Dostor Linux show is it was for because I have noticed that probably it's because I'm getting old, getting older, but the community around Linux, it wasn't never big in Valparaiso or even in Chile, but now probably nobody is talking about Linux. That is because nobody is interested, because the generation gap, or
I will answer your question in the chat.
Okay. Dice que le estoy preguntando qué cree la comunidad Linux, ¿cierto? Que antes era como grande y podíamos mover harta gente, pero ahora como poquita. Resume driven development.
So to answer your question, the announcement culture of saying that my work is wonderful, hire me, has overtaken the volunteer attitude.
Yeah, viste, yeah, I thought that is a attitude thing. Sí. Sí, dice básicamente que la actitud que tienen la que no las nuevas generaciones, pero en general había una actitud de que mira mi currículum, ¿cierto? Contrátenme. Se ha puesto por sobre la actitud de ser voluntario en algo. Yeah. Now in Chile, we are the government for the public schools. They give laptops to kids, so you can choose between Linux or Windows. Or both. That's cool. I didn't know. Do you remember the one laptop per child project?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I just got my Raspberry Pi. I do not want to say the name because the name is funny in Chile.
Yeah. See, I can tell it. Pico. Raspberry Pi Pico. You. Use the you. See. And you are using it for
I believe pico means to be small.
the top.
Oh, okay.
Sí, let me explain that. Siempre se Andrew se reía la palabra pico porque nos referíamos obviamente a la parte, ¿cierto?, sexual, y pico siempre es como, sí, chico significa. Entonces para él era chistoso porque nosotros le llamamos a algo que para él significa pequeño, nosotros le llamábamos al miembro, al nepe, ¿cierto? Le llamábamos pico. Yeah.
I learned that my first week in Chile.
Dice que aprendió esto la primera, por supuesto. And to ask for food. Point.
Anywhere in the world, always find someone selling food who looks like they could be your mother. Mothers will keep you fat.
Sí, dice que en cualquier lugar en el mundo tiene que buscarte una persona que se vea como tu mamá. Eso te va a cuidar bien. Oye, Andrew, and that device is just for fun? The Pico, Raspberry Pi Pico?
You can build an HID keyboard or mouse to do funny things to people with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just playing with my 3D printer now.
You can use this to program OBS macros.
That's cool. Send me one. Yeah, because I need macros.
You can get a very large button to hit to perform a macro in OBS.
Yeah, I already ordered my enter button, big enter button from AliExpress, I think. Yeah, no, I'm just playing with my 3D printer. No, there, for the people.
If you play with your baby Yoda too much, you will go blind.
But I have a RoboCop. I feel proud of myself because I painted. Dice que el problema es que no veo a nadie ofreciéndose a hacer cursos o algo así para que chicos que elijan Linux. Yeah, the problem with the government, that you can choose laptop with Linux or Windows, is that nobody is giving support to Linux. The one that choose Linux.
Is anybody giving support to the Windows laptops?
Yes, Microsoft.
But I mean, are they actually helping?
Yes. Okay. Well, you have online. They help, but just for the. It is a support for the Windows stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know the Arduino Portenta H7?
H7. Does that reference something? Ooh, that looks cute.
No, probablemente no.
That is very expensive.
H7. Portenta.
Oh, it's an ARM Cortex on an Arduino platform.
That's why. Yeah, Portenta is like an Italian word, I think, para potencia, for power.
Yeah. No, it looks like it will be a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, it's no, it means wonderful in Latin. Yeah, it's yeah. I think that that was the. You know that I'm very. What's the term in Spanish? Let me. dispersed. That's the term. I'm super dispersed. You know me. The good thing is that with Andrew, that even if I don't see him for, I don't know, I haven't talked long with you for 10 years. The good thing with friends is like, it's like it was yesterday.
Correct.
That's a good.
When you have no fear of the other person, you can expose yourself to them. So
Exactly.
that's the trust.
Yes. I don't know. Probably I will travel to after COVID to USA. I'm gonna visit you to eat sushi.
And yeah, I live in the middle of Gringolandia,
Cool.
and so there's not a lot of the fish that they fly internally.
Uh-huh.
So I have no good sushi here.
I have the
we
ocean
best-
just in front of me. So,
Um,
but do you have pizza? Do you have pizza?
We have pizza. Tito has moved to St. Vincent Island, I believe. Do you remember Tito, our sushi
Sí,
friend?
super cheater. Estamos
Super
hablando, I'm
cheater.
sorry, let me translate. Estamos hablando acerca de sushi porque íbamos a comer sushi con Andrew a la Sushi Home. Así
Ujú.
era. Y teníamos un buen amigo que era el maestro ahí y nos trataba muy bien. Actually, you were the one that introduced me sushi. By the way.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds very bad in Spanish. Introduce me to sushi, not introduce me sushi. Estamos hablando de comida. Siempre las conversaciones con Andrew terminan en comida. That's the one that somebody made for you. Huawei's wife.
Yes.
La esposa de Huawei de otro amigo le tejió ese tux ahí.
And he's traveled very far. And Digium, the VoIP,
Yeah. Sí.
they made a hat for him.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Mira, eso se lo tejió una amiga, o sea, esposa de un amigo chileno de Huawei que ahora está viviendo en. ¿Dónde está viviendo? What's the country that Huawei is living? Holland?
Norway.
Norway, that.
Yeah, somewhere. Close to Luis, I believe.
Yeah, white people. Sí, pues viven por allá y ese Tux viajó de Chile, ha viajado a distintos lugares y la gente de Digium, los tipos de Asterisk, le hizo un sombrero al Tux. Dice, te pregunta Mauricio Jiménez, ask you, Andrew, what kind of relation you have with open source? Since you talked about collaborative spirit.
When people volunteer to do something, they do a better job. And when people volunteer to write software, they write better software. And whenever people are being, ¿cómo se dice whip? Whenever people are being whipped, they write bad software.
Latigazo. Mira qué buena. Dice que la relación con el open source dice que básicamente donde la gente se ofrece como voluntaria hace mejores cosas. Cuando te ofreces como voluntario para programar, haces bien las cosas, programas buenas cosas. Sin embargo, cuando la gente programa con el látigo detrás, escriben malas cosas. By the way, let me thank you to Besides Chile for this t-shirt. And
advertisement?
No, it's just a gift. They invited me in December, I think. I can't remember. Yeah, December, to a conference, virtual conference, about security. And I was talking about Docker. I don't know why everybody went there, because it was not security. It was Docker. But yeah. Chicotear. The term for whip is in Chile is chicotear. It's the same. It's, to whip is chicotear. It's a very slang. It's a slang. Yeah, your favorite project is Odoo. Yeah. Why?
I've been working on Odoo for 20 years.
Ah, that's right. So, yeah. Sí, dice que el proyecto favorito open source de Andrew es Odoo. Dice que trabajó hace 20 años en... What do you do there? You're a volunteer. You're a volunteer, right?
I am a volunteer.
Okay.
A volunteer. And the founder of the software looks very much like me. And we are both very silly people.
Ya, sí, dice que básicamente el fundador se parece un poco a él y son personas muy flojas. Chicoteando. They are doing no Spanglish. We say whipping the snails, something like that, in Spanish. When somebody need to hurry you up, we say chicotea los caracoles. It's like whip the snails.
Where in the area of Gringolandia, where I am, I believe they say, "Get a move on."
Oh.
So it that should translate well. Get a move on.
Yeah, get a move on. So we have companies like Red Hat doing great moves. Right? Doing great moves. Basically, you can have 16 free servers from Red Hat, but you can't have CentOS.
Microsoft's marketing department has moved to Red Hat
Ah, that's
and destroyed everything.
yeah. They belong to IBM now, right? Red Hat, it belongs to IBM, but you have movement from I don't know, Android, which is basically Linux, very different Linux, but the core is Linux. Companies like Nvidia, everything is basically all the world is running Linux, but not the desktop. When it's gonna be the Linux
The
year?
Linux on the desktop is everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
You have Chrome OS, which is pure Linux on the desktop, which will do KVM virtualization for you to have on new Chrome devices. You can press a button and it creates a Linux KVM for you to test software.
Really?
Yes.
Look at my cat.
So
There.
there's a kitty cat. Meow.
Yeah, Tonka. She's a very bad
This
cat.
is what the internet is meant for, is cats.
Of course, I pay internet for that, for her. Wait. Let me show to the audience my... wait. It weighs a lot, like 10 kilos. She's her daughter. Yeah, she likes to eat. And she's super
Yes.
picky. Go down. There.
That would be my mascot. Yes.
So, about desktop. You say that in Chrome OS you can press a button and have a... Let me translate that. Dice que Chrome, básicamente el escritorio de Linux está por muchos lados. Y en el Chrome OS tú puedes apretar un botón y ejecutar una máquina virtual con KVM, que es la tecnología de virtualización del kernel de Linux. So you press a button and you create a new virtual machine, or you switch to a virtual machine?
It just automatically brings up a Linux console on a virtual machine, and you can do whatever you need to do. In addition, I can drive to the computer store and
Uh-huh.
buy a desktop with Ubuntu on it and walk out the front door. So Linux on the desktop is everywhere. And what I said in the mailing list is that it's impossible to have metrics to prove where it's installed.
Uh-huh. The Walla Drake, it says that in Chile, if you need to pay for Linux, if Linux was a paid thing, probably everybody will use one.
The stupids, yes.
It is Victor Parada is asking if it is necessary to have a cat to do streaming. Everybody have one, or it comes with the OBS. Basically, I have a question for that. If you work in IT, you need a cat.
I think that there are some people that like dogs, but by and large, everyone must have a cat. Yes, because we work for the cats.
Yes. Exactly. And what says, yeah, sí, dice que los gatos solo comen sushi. Yeah, they are like, no, they only eat like fresh things, except for the dry food. Cats are very clean animals if you compare with the dog. But that's another topic. And yeah, a dog is more portable. You can take the dog wherever you want, but it needs a lot of maintain. Your house or your garden needs a lot of maintenance if you have a dog. With a cat, you just need food, sandbox, and that's it. And a good vacuum cleaner. By the way, there is another one sleeping behind my. I have 4 cats.
I see.
That one is like this. It's with his stomach. Hey Andy, one last question.
Okay.
When are you coming to Chile? No. No.
Well, if the lockdown and the virus had not have happened, I was hoping to visit.
Oh, that's cool.
Last year, the data center, Tecnología,
Yes.
was in production. Was in production in 2010, and so I wanted to visit for 10 years.
See,
but stupid virus.
Yeah, stupid virus. I don't know why they didn't cook that bat a little bit. Just 5 minutes more of heating, of boiling to that bat.
Well, and they could add some spices.
Yeah, they didn't add enough spices, or they giving enough time to the bat.
Or wasabi. They can put wasabi on.
No, the last question was about, of course, open source. Yeah, we have Linux in basically everywhere. Yeah, because there is a project. What is the name? FFmpga, I think. They have the Hall of Shame, right?
I'm not
right?
familiar.
Hall of Shame. The Hall of Shame. FFmpeg, Hall of Shame. Yeah, Hall of Shame. Basically, Hall of Shame is. You showed me that. You know this project.
No, FFmpeg, I understand.
No, but the Hall of Shame is offline. They have a list of a lot of projects that use FFmpeg, but they don't show that they are using that, and they sell. But there is a lot of devices that use Linux and nobody knows, like my television, or I don't know, a lot of devices like consoles. Even the PlayStation 3, I think, and the 4, they use Linux on the bottom. And but to switch for fully switch to Linux, it's an enterprise thing. I think that when the companies realize that, and I think that this is a good thing for the companies, because everybody's, you know, with the virus, everybody's trying to save money, right? The companies. But by the way, I have my own company. But like me, big companies like Oracle discovers that you don't need a huge building for everyone, and you can put up little I don't know, house, whatever, for near from your workers, from your collaborators. They are splitting the big buildings in I don't know, not that big buildings, just houses, I think, and they are going close to the workers, right? No, yeah,
no. Many companies have agreements with the city to stay in the city, and they cannot exit for taxing purposes. And so there are many businesses which are having trouble with the virus and the work from home, because the workers are not spending money in the cities.
Exactly. So it is not a question. Just I was just saying that with the virus, most of the companies, I have read that, not big companies, but medium size or small companies says, hey, I don't need to pay for a building, for an apartment. I can put more money on devices like best laptops, best setup for my workers, and best internet, and that works.
Yeah,
but that doesn't work for everybody, because if you have kids, you cannot work in Chile. You cannot work from home. At least you have we don't have like you in USA. You like to have what's the name? The basement. You have basement. So basically, it's another house down your house.
Yeah, I have 3 levels here in my house.
Yeah.
And the secret for children is to use adhesive tape.
Sí, dice que, bueno, el secreto para los niños, si tienes niños en tu casa, puedes usar cinta adhesiva. I don't know if that is legal. It is not legal to use that. And yeah. So the thing is, Microsoft have a lot of commercial products, like the one that make the companies to keep the desktop. What's the name? Windows 10, I think now. It's 10. So if you have good things like Active Directory, that works well. It's super cool if you have Windows, but I haven't seen projects like that in open source. Probably you do.
I just put one in there for you in the chat.
It doesn't appear. Probably I have. No, I don't have that. Sentinel. Yeah, I know that. But it's if you compare, you showed me that before. It was called. It had another name before that.
E-Box.
Yeah, you show me e-books. Yeah. But if you compare with the thing that you can do with the rules in the what's an Active Directory, it's like
group policy.
Group policy object. You can change the behavior of the full desktop. I don't know if Linux or GNOME have if you connect Central to, I don't know, a Linux machine to Central, you can log things.
Yes, so you can use LDAP,
Yes.
LDAP, to enforce the profile, so your dot files. So, for example, you can use your skeleton profile to enforce a particular layout in dot files. And as you deploy your dot files for your profile to your users, you can make it unchangeable by your users, which is evil. Do not do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't use the what's the name?
The whip.
The whip. Don't use the whip. With you. Yeah.
But yes, in Lightweight Directory Access Protocol is a directory service which allows you to establish many things, SSH keys, home directories, many things. So you can set your users to their home directories. You can set their profile to be a copy of a particular profile. And at that point, you can make the user environment look a particular way. You can have it show the logo on the desktop that you want it to show. And yeah, you can do the exact same things, but Linux administrators are not evil, and so they choose not to.
Yes. Okay, Andy. I think it's enough for today. And I'm going to say thank you. Do you have something to say to the audience? It's been
no. This has been wonderful, and we can try to do this again if it will work out.
Yes. Of course.
It has been 3 hours since I've eaten, and I need to eat again to maintain my shape.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you, Andrew. Bueno, a la gente, gracias por permanecer. Igual estuvieron harto rato, chiquillos. Esperamos invitar a Andrew de nuevo, ¿cierto? Si tienen más preguntas. Bueno, Andrew sabe mucho acerca de tecnología. Yo aprendí mucho con Andrew. Es un viejo conocido de Linux Valpo. Hay gente que no lo conoce, pero los que lo conocimos, en realidad él siempre estuvo dispuesto a ayudar a las comunidades de open source en Chile. De hecho, lo conocí en un evento que habíamos organizado en una Frisol y llegó de auditor y ahí nos hicimos amigos y comenzamos después a comer mucho. Y siempre ha estado dispuesto a colaborar. Es un muy buen colaborador de distintos proyectos, así que bueno, lo vamos a dejar invitado para otro. Él mismo se invitó you invited yourself to another program, so to another show, so okay, thank you, Andy. Gracias a toda la gente que estuvo ahí. Sorry por a veces no traduje, muchas veces no traduje, pero estaba interesante la conversación. Y bueno, nos vemos el próximo lunes en Rocket y el próximo jueves en otro episodio más de Doctor Linux. Chao, bye. Bye, Andy.